Hey everybody, welcome to part 4 of my drum riser construction series of videos that I'm doing actually to just show what I'm constructing for my drummer. This is part number 4. And in part number 4 here, I'm just going to show you what I've done. In part 3, I basically showed you the 5-foot box I built. What I've done here is I've built 2 rectangles, one here and one here, that fit inside that big 5-foot square box. And the reason I've done this, as explained in the previous video, is that this is going to have to go in my drummer's apartment, and to get it up the stairs to his 3rd story in his apartment, we can't take it up the stairs because the 5-foot box doesn't actually fit up the staircase. So I've divided it so we can have the 2 boxes on either side here. The 2 rectangles they come out. They're actually anchored in there using some appliance bolts, and this goes all the way around down the sides here as well, and all the way in the top. It's anchored everywhere with these appliance bolts, and there's 3 appliance bolts down the middle spar here as well. So when we actually get it to his house, we'll take the 2 rectangles out, and we'll take the actual 5-foot square box apart, because that's all screwed together with little screws here on the end that just can pop right out, so that whole thing can come out. And once we finally get it there, what we'll do is we'll add all the foam to it, and we'll add the MDF wood on top, which I will cut shortly here, probably in the next video or two. You'll see me actually doing that. What I'm doing right now today is I've just finished doing this whole box and setting it all up, drilling it all, and putting all of the appliance bolts in it to keep it together. And right now I'm just creating these places where the feet will attach in the corners here. So that's what I'm actually doing currently. And then we're going to drill out all the parts for the foot mounts and stuff right after this. But this is basically what I'm doing here at this particular juncture. Again, this is part number 4 in the video series. I'm building this riser again as a sound isolation riser for my drummer, because he's playing his electronic drum kit in his house, and unfortunately it's too loud for the neighbors. Not actually for the neighbor under him, but it's for the neighbors beside him that are having a problem. So we're going to try to use my design for this, which is a design that's different from the tennis ball isolation risers that you're seeing a lot of people build now. My riser will only have 4 contact points, perhaps 5, so it'll be the corners here, the 4 corners will each have a foot on it, and there may be a foot in the middle, but we haven't decided whether or not that is necessary yet. So we're going to see once we build it whether or not the middle foot is necessary. But because it's only going to have these 4 contact points, or let's say 5 contact points possibly, it's got a lot less contact surface than, you know, laying out 30 tennis balls between 2 pieces of MDF board, because all of those tennis balls all added together, they actually equate to a lot of actual transference of vibration in the drum riser, whereas this riser will only have 4 contact points, or 5 contact points possibly, and those contact points again will be sitting on a bed of foam layers. Basically, we're using some foam mats and layers on some feet that are 9 inches by 9 inches, and we're going to be using maybe 5 to 7 layers of that foam, and all of the feet on here are all going to sit on that in all the corners, and that should actually isolate the sound away and transfer far less vibration to the floor, or to the floor, or to the neighbor in this particular case, then I think that those tennis ball risers actually will do. But in the end, this is an experiment. We're going to see. It's not costing too much money to build this, and we're using as much of the wood as we can. We're not wasting things. As you can see, when I created these 2 spars here, I'm using the leftover wood, and I've screwed it all together, and we're trying to use all of the 2x3s that we got and not really waste anything here, and make this as economical as possible. In the end, we'll tell you approximately how much it cost. Up to this particular point, it's probably only cost about $60 so far to build this, and that includes the MDF board that we bought to actually cover the top with, because we got some used MDF board at $1 a sheet, and the sheets were 50 inches by 40 inches, so that was a pretty good deal. So in the end, we'll see how much this costs. In the end, we'll see how well it works. I'm hoping for the best here. I'm thinking that it's going to actually work really, really well. But we'll keep you guys updated as we go here, and we'll get to the end of this whole build and show you what happens in it. I did some sound tests today. I put some MDF down on here with some foam in between the MDF and the actual spars of the frame to see how it would dampen the noise, and it actually worked relatively well too, just for that. So again, stay tuned. You're going to see how this progresses if you're interested in this, of course, at all. If you're not building a drum riser, you won't be interested in this video. But if you need to build one and you're thinking of what to do with the tennis ball riser idea or some other ideas on the internet, this will be a different idea that you could possibly use, and it may actually work better than those other ideas out there. And we're going to see in the end whether or not the science behind this is actually true. But if you can, just stay tuned. You'll see how the rest of this goes, and as we go along, you'll see how it evolves, and we'll see what happens. So keep up with me like this. I'm going to have another video probably every day or so here until all of this is done, and we'll see what the results are in the end. So stay tuned, guys.